Let's go to where we are taking it to the streets right now at the Starbucks Cafe in West Sacramento. Ron Hyde out there with community activists. Ron.
Ashby, she's the president of the Creekside Neighborhood Association. She's been active in the Natomas community for many, many years now. We've been talking about community involvement all morning, having a voice in how your communities operate. Now you want to take all this involvement over the years to the next level. You have a husband, 2 kids, yet you're going to run or are running for city council. Why don't you tell us about the impetus for that and why you're doing it?
Right. Well, like we talked about earlier, it's important for everyone in the community to get involved. That doesn't mean everybody has to run for city council. It doesn't mean everybody has to review a finance plan for their community, but it does mean that people need to step forward and do what they can. I started that way. I started in my neighborhood association fighting for a stop sign, and then fighting for cleaner parks, and then fighting for more police officers, and then fighting for a fire station on the west side of I-5. And all of that naturally progressed to a position where I felt like we needed to implement change in District 1. And it's time for new leadership. It's time for new leadership in the city. And I'm ready to step up to that challenge. So I put my name in the hat, and I am running for City Council in District 1 for the City of Sacramento.
When we first began in this 6 a.m. hour, we were talking about the tenor and the tempo of a lot of these town hall meetings and the vitriol that seems to be being spewed about amongst people in the communities, issues like health care, public safety, this and that. I see a lot of these town hall meetings, and I'm sure you've seen it on TV as well. People seem to be angry. The tenor is really one of anger out there. How do we rein it all in, have a more civil dialogue, and get people involved because you want to help your neighbor to make communities better?
Well, you know, I've seen it on TV, and I've seen it in person. It's not unlike a lot of what happens in Natomas. The thing is, you want people to get involved, and one of the reasons that people are willing to get involved is because they feel so passionately about something. And the only way to stop a person from yelling for help is to begin to help them. So if we want people to calm down and begin to speak civilly, we have to start working together. We have to start moving things in a direction that progresses us towards where we want to be as a community. In Natomas, that means listening to the community when they say they need a fire station. It means listening when they say they're worried about police officers not on their high school campuses. It means working with the people who are willing to stand up, go to those forums, leave their kids for an evening, and go be heard. You have to listen to them. That's how you get people to stay engaged, stay involved, and calm down and be a part of the solution.
Today is 9/11. We commemorate the 8th anniversary of September 11th, and today has been declared a National Day of Service. What is the single greatest issue confronting our communities today?
I believe in Sacramento that the greatest issue is public safety. I think the budget is a huge problem in the nation, that we all have to address that. But in the city of Sacramento, if people aren't safe, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter, you know, about a job, it doesn't matter about your home, and it doesn't matter about your education if you're not safe. So until we can help people in this community feel safe, and there are a lot of ways to do that. Yes, we need officers, but we also need neighborhood watch programs.
Angelique Ashby, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Good luck on your race for the City Council. Back to you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Well, Angelique's enjoying herself so much, she has to get out of here at 6:50, but she said she'll extend it until 7 a.m. Coffee's good, and so is the conversation. A couple questions for the last hour. We really appreciate you being with us this morning.
Oh, thank you.
And we had Sac County Sheriff John McGinnis on Cup of Questions last week here in West Sacramento, and he was lamenting the fact that budget cuts, the lack of federal stimulus dollars to his department, have really hamstrung his ability to protect the community to a large degree. So what I want to ask you as a big leader in the Natomas community, public safety is certainly a big issue, not only for you there, but for all communities. How do we deal with that?
Yeah, we've done a lot of creative, ingenuitive things in the Natomas area to address public safety as a community. We have created partnerships with the police department where we exchange emails on a daily basis. The police department keeps us updated on the crimes that are happening, how we can help, license plate numbers, descriptions of folks. We opened a Natomas Police and Community Resource Center. We staff it completely with volunteers from the community. That helps with the public counters that were closed. People can go there to file online police police reports, have fix-it tickets signed off, and ask questions about city services. We have created huge neighborhood watch programs. National Night Out in Natomas is a pretty big deal, which is where we get together and meet your neighbors and sort of initiate the effort to know who should be in your community and who should not be in your community. And so there's a lot that you can do that doesn't cost, but it does require partnerships, involvement, and a lot of energy and effort. But it can be done. We can bridge the gap of some of these budget losses by working together as a community.
And we did a story yesterday on CBS-13 News at 5 and 6 a.m. Apparently in Natomas, there's been a car driving around, a passenger gets out, holds people at gunpoint, takes their money or valuables, and then drives off, and it's been going on for the last couple of weeks. When you hear news, negative news about Natomas, what does that do to you, and how does it impact you as a community member?
Well, what it does to me is make me want more information. I want to know what kind of description do we have on the car? What kind of, do we have any type of partial license plate? And do we have any type of description of the folks inside of the car? And do we have any particular unifying factor, like is it happening at a certain time of day or in certain areas? Because then what I do is I get on the internet, on our Yahoo groups, which reach thousands of people in Natomas, and I put out those descriptions, or I ask Captain Daniel Hahn to put out those descriptions, and we get those as widely circulated as we can.
Okay, I appreciate it. Angelique Ashby's been our guest this morning. She has her eyes on Natomas for many years now, and an eye on the city council seat perhaps in 2010. Lisa, back to you.
Ron, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.